Welcome in to DC On Screen. I am your host, David C. Robertson. This is my co-host, Jason.
Hello.
And today we are going to get super spoilery on Arrow 418, 11:59.
Yeah,
by the way,
go watch it if you haven't.
Yeah.
Kind of finally worth it.
It's really worth it. It is. By the way, this is episode 150 of
Really?
DC On Screen.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
It happened so fast.
It happens so fast. It's almost like all those man hours never happened. But this is the episode we've been waiting for all season. We see who bites the dust. How'd you feel? Were you happy with who bit the dust, Jason? Were you?
I'll tell you, man. This was good TV for a number of reasons. Like I'm I was a little bit toe up at the end of it. It's when the show's actually hitting on all cylinders, this is what it can actually do for you. And it takes 4 years to build a character to this point. But we've talked about how in the last few weeks we've been kind of high on, like, Cassidy's stock has been going up hugely for us because they've finally given her stuff to do, and she's been doing it well, and we've been really happy. It was like, you remember in season 1 when she was a lawyer primarily, and that was actually, it kind of worked for her. She was interesting, had a lot to do, and they were getting back to lawyer Laurel, and man, it was really working, and it was working so well we should have known they'd kill her. Yeah,
it was working well enough.
They made me really like her again before they took her from me, which was well done. Well done, show. And I watched Stephen Amell's face crumple, and I died a little inside.
So this episode has some really good stuff. Ollie saying, "There's something I haven't told you guys," and Thea going, "Shocker."
Right, I love that. Isn't it like Laurel that says afterwards, "You really like not saying stuff about that island, don't you?"
Yeah. It was almost like...
He had a couple of good lines, too, by the way. Like, when she says, I'm going to go work the streets, and he tells her, oh, no one's actually going to give up Dark. Then I'm going to go hit people in the streets. I dug it.
So, yeah, I don't want to be
sure where you were going with that thought.
Where I was going with that is, I don't want to be a dick, but as good as Laurel actually was in this episode, it almost seemed uncharacteristic. Like, they kind of went out of their way, it felt like, to give her a few good lines, to make her seem a little more personable than they have in the past. And I guess, looking back, they've done that for the last couple episodes.
Well, they have, but it in one way I agree, and one way I disagree. Saying that they gave her some good lines makes it sound like they actually had some, in a stock room the entire time, and she just wasn't getting her order filled.
I feel like this would have spent the entire series, though.
Yeah, but I don't feel like they were doing anything they were incapable of doing, like they were holding back or something. It seems like they just forget to do a good job with her sometimes. I mean, it's an ensemble thing. There's a lot of characters in the show, and they focus on the other ones. And Laurel's been, let's face it, she's been put in the back of the bus for a minute here, man. And they put her to the front, but importantly, they pulled her story up to the A story, and they did a good job with it when they got her there. So I'm like, in one way, I agree, and I kind of resent the fact that we didn't have more time with good Laurel. But on the other hand, man, I mean, if they were going to do this, they did it right.
Yeah, I mean, just watching her, though, in this episode, I was thinking, how much, and I probably have said this before because I'm me, and I don't remember things that I thought before, but...
Sure.
You remember that whole storyline where she was, training with Ted Grant, or whatever his name was, Wildcat, and then it was oh, maybe love interest, and blah, 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 And well, that's just weird anyway, but how about, we have a whole storyline where she realizes that that's her real dad? Because that's what it was in the comics. Wildcat was her dad. He was an old dude who trained her to be Black Canary.
Right.
And then, by the way, now Quentin and Laurel have something to do.
I forget what happened. Didn't the guy playing Wildcat, have something come up and couldn't be on the show anymore? I
actually don't know.
I think I heard that. I don't know. I can't verify it at all. But it seemed, I think I remember it that way, at least because it kind of seems right. He just vanished.
But we could have, Creed, but on Arrow. I mean, come on. They had opportunities. They just didn't take them.
I'm good. I didn't watch Creed. I'm not going to watch. I don't
Creed
want to watch
was
Creed
amazing.
on Arrow. I don't care. I didn't care about those movies anymore.
But
it was one of those, man, I hope everyone enjoyed it, but I got no interest in it myself.
That's fine. And it was really good.
And I heard it was really good. And
I weep for you.
I'm very proud for everyone that loved it. I just didn't. I had lost interest. Lost interest in those movies by that point, man.
You're very proud of everyone. Anyway,
my heart sold.
Yeah, so I was spoiled before this episode came out. So at no point was I going like, "Oh, Laurel's going to be the DA, but I'm going to have to give up the Black Canary." But anyway, if I hadn't been spoiled, as soon as she started talking about like one last time, I'd been like, "Oh, she's going to be the one that's okay."
I'll tell you from someone who wasn't spoiled that by the time she says one last time, you know damn well what's going to happen to her.
Mm-hmm.
And for a second, as you're going through the episode, when she's talking to Quentin in that in the tempura bar or whatever that was, you really for a second it could be both of them, because it's one of those conversations where it's just that kind of heart to heart where it could just be him saying something to his daughter one last time, and however the writers are going to do you. And man, by the end of the episode where she gets to the one last, when we get to one last time, you're kind of you're pretty sure the dial's pointing in her direction.
Yeah.
Thought it might be Thea there for a damn second, though. Good. That was they shot it in such a way, but
So, just to get it out of the way, I guess, which I guess should be like somewhat of a clue as to how I felt about it. You want to just talk about the island? Just go ahead and get the island out of the way.
Did I even write anything? I don't even think I had notes on the island this week. I think I finally just gave up on it so much I'm not even writing anything down anymore. That it's a fucking shit show. There's nothing salvageable happening on that island.
Well, there was one thing salvageable that happened this week on the island. Mm-hmm. He shows a Russian chick. Like, I actually wrote down her line. Just a month ago, I was a dive instructor. Ugh.
Right.
But
before that, I was a barista. Come on, played. Flash viewers, you know what I'm talking about. Some legends, peoples.
So she's like, "This island changed you," which is something we've been hearing since day one.
Right.
He shows her an old picture of Laurel.
In the first 10 minutes of the pilot.
I know.
It's been well established.
He shows her an old picture of Laurel, and then he says that he would go to Russia if the woman doesn't make it.
That was the one thing I thought that finally made sense. Oh, that's how he gets the Russian tats. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. But then I'm like, why does he look like he's been on that island for like 5 years in the whatever.
I don't know. I don't know how he gets back on. He's got to get back on the island, and I guess he has to go to Russia now. He has to go to Russia. He's got to get the tats. We know he has the tats. So
they said he wasn't going to go to Russia,
but he has to get there somewhere. And like the first episode, he has that Russian tattoo, doesn't he?
I know.
You watched it recently, didn't he? Didn't he have it?
Yeah.
He's got full ink.
Yeah.
He probably loved it when they had him. At the beginning of the season, they wrote the tattoos off him. Man, he probably enjoyed not sitting in that makeup chair for a few hours every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I will.
I think it was just the one. Tattoo.
Didn't he have a few? It was like I think it was like one on the front, a couple on the back. And he's still got to sit in the makeup chair just to get all the scars on his back. But I'll tell you, like the island, it's a train wreck. I hate it. But even aside from just the overall the gestalt of me hating it or being bored by it, at least, I don't think it inspires such a thing as hate. Doesn't have enough going on. But they're in the middle of like a murder spree essentially, and they just keep talking about their That's a lot of feelings time for. I mean, you're double fisting. Like mini Uzis, man. Like, get through it.
Yeah.
No pep talks.
There's just not a whole lot on the island that's keeping me interested.
No, and I think look at the timing of it, man. The island used to take up so much more time, so much more screen time. I think it didn't seem like they had a great thing going on in the flashbacks this year. And to me, it seems pointed out by the amount of screen time it's getting.
Yeah, I feel like it's the same thing for the writers. I feel like they're like, I don't know what to do with this. Okay, well, something has to happen.
Let's have them find an idol or something. I don't know.
And maybe they're setting up.
Really, it was like, who should we make the bad guy? Somebody just throws a dart at a giant wall of DC mural. Who'd that land on? Baron Blitzkrieg. Who's that? Ooh, we can't use that.
Yeah, maybe they're setting up. Maybe they're setting up something for like next season, because at this point they have 5 episodes?
It's got to be nearing that, yeah. What'd you say it was? Episode 118? 18? Yeah.
418.
I think Arrow's a 23 episode season.
Yeah, that's what I believe it is. That's what I'm basing my assumption on. So I don't know.
We'll get there. The journey of that weird totem thing. Do we know what to call it? Does it have a name? My idol, the idol, whatever that is. It's
the idol.
The idol.
That's what I'm going to call it because that's what Damien keeps talking.
There you go. So the idol, though, big question for me. Early on, they've got it in that little case and everything. Did they take the time to glue the motherfucker back together? Why? Keep the parts scattered across the freaking universe, man. No.
So they could easily go, there's a piece missing. Yeah.
We had a clever plan. While we were jigsawing this thing back together, we kept a piece. In my apartment. I keep it under the couch. There's been a Cheeto under there for 4.5 years.
So they should totally stop showing the League of Assassins entering.
Yeah, they never look as cool entering a room as Merlin does. Merlin
doesn't even look that cool.
No, Barrowman generally pulls it off for me. Like I finally in this episode had started to get a little bit annoyed with like, God, Merlin can just get in anywhere. Like this is getting a little bit ridiculous, and I actually appreciated this is well done on their part because I really was at that point where I needed him to say something, and they nailed it. So they mentioned several times like, oh, that's why the League called him the Magician. Like not only was he an incredible League of Assassins member, he was so good at certain things they started giving him nicknames among something that's supposed to be an anonymous tribe, you know. Mm-hmm. And it helped. I liked having a reminder of that. I really did. Yeah, it was time.
Yeah, that was fine. Like I'm always okay with him being able to get in most of the time. I just like. I know that doesn't make any sense. I
just like. I know it's just lip service, but it's good lip service. I liked it.
Yeah. But when like they keep showing, because they'll always have like Merlin, like blah 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 blah, Oliver, da da dum, and like off screen, and then it like shows him walking up, and then like they always show like the League like kind of just popping in, like just walking up, like yeah, we're here too. I'm like, that is so lame. They should really just like, it would be way more creepy if they just like shot like close up, and then all of a sudden they're surrounded. Like we never see how they get surrounded, and neither do they. Because that's more ninja. I don't know. It's just my thoughts on it.
You just blink and there's a room full of them. So when did that happen?
One of the things I noticed though is like Thea like kicks one of the League of Assassins, and so much like there's a cloud of dust comes off of their shirt. I'm like, where are they getting all this dust from? Right. Like that actually like actively took me out. I was like, they are in like a pristine lair, this like technological bunker. Like, who's running around in dirt?
Sheetrock? I don't know, man.
Sheetrock.
I don't know. It makes for a nice little plume. It's a neat visual and all, but it makes more sense in an Indiana Jones film than it does in the Arrow layer.
So I guess I'll mention this too. The choreography, man. Every once in a while, it's just so bad.
Here's what I mean. We were talking about this the other day. Like 75% of the time, it's pretty great, actually. I mean, their fights. Half the time, the Arrow fights, and God, there's what 2 or 3 an episode minimum usually.
Yeah.
And at least 2 of those 3 look amazing. And then every now and then there'll just be a shot that's it'll pull you out of it almost. It's so weird.
And this episode, like almost all the choreography was like that.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like they do this thing.
It was just like I said for me. It's just a couple of shots every now and then. You go, oh, just pull that one, pull that back.
Yeah, and they kind of hit a lot of the obvious non-hits in this episode. You can just tell they didn't hit their opponent at all. And then like the thing that really bothers me though, like, 'cause I can get behind that. I'm an old school Star Trek fan. Whatever, I'm good. But
we've seen much worse. I mean, honestly, like we're picking on it, but this is above average choreography most of the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, hey, I remember Shatner's stunt double. I think it may have been Lou Grant from Mary Tyler Moore. I don't know, but in the old Star Trek, it's like, oh my lord. But like I don't know. And if someone knows anything about fighting, because I clearly don't. But if you get hit on your right, if someone's punching you on your right, shouldn't you like fall with momentum to your left? If you get hit on your right,
I would think,
because they're doing this thing. It's like they get hit on their right, and then they like do this like spinny fall. They like spin and fall, but they go with like the momentum to the right, like they just got hit on their left. It's so confusing.
I don't know. Maybe there's some weirdness to it, but I would think like an object in motion and so on.
It just reminds me of it's some like putty shit, like from the Power Rangers. But anyway,
it reminds me of it sometimes. That little thing they do where they like flip 6 or 8 times before they hit the ground, which by the way is just phenomenal acrobatics. I have no idea how anyone does that. It's insane.
I have no idea how anyone does it. No idea why anyone would need to do it.
the fights I've seen, if you watch like an MMA or UFC or something, man, people don't like spin around. They just kind of crumple when they're done.
Yeah,
but it looks good most of the time. I like it. But
people must spin. They must spin, Jason.
They must have the spinning.
They must spin. We don't know why they need it.
Right.
But they're ninjas. It's mysticism.
Right.
We don't understand that.
No. We are not to question ninjas.
Yeah, seriously, if anybody has a reason for, like an actual real world reason for that, let me know. I mean, I'm not trying to really pick it apart. I mean, shit, there's a Flash running around in this universe.
Right. We're fine. We're fine.
How did you feel about Quentin suddenly being really on board with Laurel being the Black Canary?
It didn't seem sudden. It seems like he's been leading up there for at least the back half of the season. It's just,
the back half of the season.
He's finally gotten to the point where he's saying it out loud, I guess, making a point of it. But
it honestly feels like it's only been like 2 episodes since he was just like, "You son of a bitch, getting my baby wrapped up in this."
Oh, that was early. That was like first half, I think.
Yeah.
Like when we were getting onto him for not being able to decide if he had a heart condition.
But that's a good point. Do you think that he's going to go back to that now?
I hope not. I mean, why? Like the heart condition was supposed to be there so he couldn't get startled. I mean, what more can we do to him? Not the heart condition so much. Getting back to hating Ollie.
Yeah.
You drag my daughter into this? Nah, man. I really hope not, because if it'll erase the progress they've made with him. Like he's learned and adjusted, and to trust a character has. It's like with people. People have to have opinions that come from them before you can really get to know them. You don't want him to just be a reflection of whatever the hell's happening around it at that second.
But that's what they've done with Ollie this season.
No, I mean I don't completely.
They've erased a lot of his development.
But they've kind of used it as a springboard. They sacrificed his development to do some other stuff with it, which is a little bit better for me, but not. It's still, you want your characters to learn and grow, and if Quentin doesn't, like, he just told her he was fine, that he was really proud of her. Don't just go back on that for no good reason. Stick with it. Be proud of your daughter. Be proud of how she died, even. Mm-hmm. That poor guy. Man, he did. Him and Amel just did a phenomenal job in that hallway.
Yeah, they really did.
Like, dude can act when you really let him do it.
I just saw Quentin's face, and when he crumples, I just started weeping.
Oh yeah.
No. I was the one, for all my jokes, I was the one going, Laurel.
I guess I will bet he probably goes back to drinking.
You think so?
I wouldn't be surprised if that becomes a B plot.
I hope not. I hope Donna keeps him off the sauce, man.
Maybe. I mean, that either way. Either way would work for me. He's got to react somehow.
Side boob than side booze. Side boob than side booze.
Sidecar might be the phrase you want.
Oh.
I know, it's just another drinking term. Either one would work for me. But he's got to react somehow, and they've got, like, the alcoholism seems like an easy go-to, so it wouldn't surprise me if they went to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's already,
he's dealt with that, but he's never dealt with that, without having any daughters.
Like, honestly, I hope he doubles down.
Joins the hell out of this team?
Yeah, either he joins the hell out of the team and becomes a badass, or he just says he's had enough and he goes off and marries Donna and moves on with his life and gets the hell out of Star City.
I think when you clear everything else away, though, Quentin still is a guy that cares a lot about this city.
Yeah.
I mean, he cared most about his daughters, obviously, and then after that, I think he really does care about Star City. So
that would work for me if he was like, we finished this thing with Dark, and then I'm getting the hell out of here.
Right. That wouldn't bother me, actually. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see where he lands at the end of the season. It really will.
Yeah. Surprisingly, I'm curious. Mm-hmm. I wrote down here good advice from Laurel, but I don't know what the hell I was talking about.
Probably the little heart-to-heart she has with
Ollie.
Yeah.
I know it was Ollie.
I forget, it was something about Felicity and letting go of something. I don't remember either.
Yeah,
I do not.
I also have written down, what the hell is Thea wearing a shirt held together by safety pins?
Yeah, that was a very distracting shirt, wasn't it?
It was.
I kept trying to watch the scene, and I kept being so pulled away by it.
And then they go off and she's speedy, and then she's wearing the shirt later, and I was like, huh, so did you just shower and put that shirt back on?
I just assumed that's the one she keeps back at the office for the comfortable shirt. Everybody's got a sweatshirt or something they really love.
It's just such an odd shirt.
It was genuinely an odd fashion choice, even for Thea.
Okay, so Diggle's an idiot in this episode.
I disagree wholeheartedly, completely.
Really?
Absolutely. Look, he makes bad choices, but he makes them because of.
Makes them genuinely.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything that. I know he's known Ollie for forever, and those two are as close to brothers as two people can get that weren't actually born from the same place. But man,
right.
You just can't discount it's his brother. There's
I would
very
argue
little
that
with most siblings in a good relationship. There's just so little that person could do that would absolutely irrefutably change them for the rest of their lives. That you would never give them another chance. Man, it's his brother, which is why he wants to give him a chance. Now he keeps giving him way too much leash. That's the thing that I kept thinking. Come on, man, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps.
Yeah, see,
I don't fault him.
I don't know. It was he's beating the hell out of his brother. They're having those arguments. He kept his brother imprisoned, and then it seems like it just happened really quick that he was just okay, I trust you.
Well, you got to remember though, for the last several weeks, he's been living at his house, in his apartment, with his child, with his wife.
I could have done with a reminder of that because they really haven't touched on it since it happened.
No, it wouldn't have hurt to have that touchstone, just to say no, seriously, they've spent a lot of time together. They've really dealt with some things. These are
which that actually does make me wonder, because I was talking to Bethany about it, and she was like, doesn't Andy have a wife?
Yeah.
Did they ever decide to tell her? Does Andy have a child?
I can't remember if he has a child. He did have a wife, and no, apparently the writers decided not to tell her. Also, I don't think John's ever told her, hey, by the way, when I thought you were dead, I hit on your wife for a little while. We're cool, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, here's my wife.
So we just couldn't figure out if there was a reason, if he was I guess if he was secretly working for Dark, that's probably why he didn't go back and talk to his wife.
Yeah.
But John would probably be like, "Hey man, have you talked to your wife yet?" No. Okay.
Yeah, I think that one's just
still crashing on the couch. Yeah. Okay.
Let me put it this way: there's other stuff to deal with. I just think somebody probably thought of that, and I'll bet you they just decided it wasn't worth going back for it.
Probably.
They really decided no, the Andy and his wife scene, we got more important things to do. And the thing is,
yeah.
If I say it out loud like that, I kind of agree, right?
Yeah, it's just one of those, strange little things that kind of haunt you in the night.
Right.
But, yeah, I don't know. To me, I don't know. Diggle was just too violent with Oliver. I don't know. He should have given him the benefit of the doubt. Because even I was like, yeah, that was too easy. That was too easy, Dig. Why are you... Calm down, Dig. Oliver's right. That was way too easy.
He didn't disagree that it was way too easy. He just disagreed
and then
that it was...
he takes an arrow for Oliver. I'm like, oh, what the hell are you up to?
I mean, from our standpoint, it makes perfect sense. We're going, oh, no, that's way too simple. No. But yeah, from John's, he's just rose-colored glasses, man. He wants his brother to back. That's it. Again,
yeah, I guess I just want Diggle to be a little more, a little smarter than he is sometimes.
Sometimes I don't, because sometimes Diggle will make what seems like a rash decision, but he does it because he's the pure heart on the show, and I don't think I would sacrifice that. I like him being the pure heart that will literally make a stupid decision because it's the right thing to do. I like that part. I don't think I'd change it.
Yeah, I can see that.
And he does learn. He feels bad. I mean, it's
right.
Hey, what does he say? One of the things he said that broke me was just you warned me and I didn't listen. That was good. Yeah, he's got one of those faces though that when he feels guilty, you feel guilty. You feel terrible for him.
Yeah, and then there's a bit where she's they wheel her in or whatever, and he's like, if she dies, I'll never forgive myself.
Mm-hmm. And I totally believe him. I do. I believe every day for the rest of his life he's going to wake up and go to bed thinking about the life he wasted, the life that he ruined. Because he's that kind of guy, and he'll fight harder for the rest of the city. It'll work out in a way. Sad scene, man. Now that we've, every time I think about it, I almost have to stop. It was, man, that was good. Mm-hmm. Good TV. I love good acting.
I loved Oliver. I think he was talking to Diggle saying, but I didn't come back from the darkness. Like, all of that whole bit was just like, dude, no, you didn't. You're right. That was good.
Yeah.
But I was mad at Diggle. I was mad at Diggle saying that shit about Felicity leaving. Like, that's why Felicity left you. I'm like, dude, you are an ass.
Oh, that was brutal, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like, he doesn't mean it, Oliver. Yes, he does.
And you know what made it more brutal? She's absolutely fucking right.
Yeah.
I mean, as bad as I felt for Oliver in this post Olicity world, he ruined that. He absolutely ruined it. Mm-hmm. But look, he tried. He really that's part of why I didn't mind them going back on his character and kind of regressing him, I guess, a little bit. He tried. It's hard. He put his effort into it. He put his weight into it. But end of the day, he still wanted to make unilateral decisions about his life, and he still can't beat it.
Mm-hmm. I liked his speech, like when Laurel's talking about being a part of the team, and he says team's falling apart.
Mm-hmm. That was nice.
Which I wrote down. When isn't it? But team's always falling apart. But I liked his bit
stretches where everyone's on board, and then
yeah. I liked when he says the city needs a hero without a mask. It needs Larurel Lance. That was good.
Isn't that nice?
That was a good line.
I ended up outright agreeing with him and Quentin. Like Quentin's observation that, dude, you're going to have a security detail. You can't be the canary and the DA. Absolutely right. Mm-hmm. Good job, Quentin. Then you get to Oliver. Same thing. Absolutely right. You would do more good as the DA. Handy as you have become with a baton.
Yeah, I mean, I like Damien Darhk, and I always like the Damien Darhk, but how he has Murmur smuggle in all the the shivs,
the sheiks,
because all the stabbies was just brutal as hell, man.
Remember, don't shiv.
Enjoyed the hell out of it. Chicken legs, licking shags.
It was a well done prison break.
Yeah, but during that prison break when everyone's fighting, I swear they actually it was cops or something. They blurred out the guy that was fighting for Malcolm, the Malcolm stunt double or whatever. Mm-hmm. They just blurred his face because they couldn't hide that it wasn't Malcolm.
I didn't catch it.
It's just a big blur pixelation thing. They did on purpose. I was just like, oh man, are you serious?
We're gonna have to go back for that one. I didn't catch it.
I had to I was like, tell me I was just getting cataracts or something. I turn it back a little bit and just, nope, there it was. I'm like, okay, you're just, okay.
Right.
I'm sure they've done it before and I've never noticed it. Happened this time.
That's one of those things, man. It happens so fast. You can kind of get away with it most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess every once in a while, some asshole will call you on it.
Hiya!
Look here. Look no further.
Oh, man. I love when Damien said, I'm a man of my word. That was... He is so good.
He is. Yeah, he's been absolutely phenomenal this season. And
I want you to give your dad a message. Tell him I'm a man of my word.
From that moment on for the rest of the episode, I swear, all of my notes are just pretty much Oliver.
Teardrops.
Fucking great job. Right? It's just name and great job. Name, great job. Name, great, check, 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 check.
Yeah, all of my notes just become big tear stains.
Oh, yeah, you just can't read them. All the ink got blurred.
I'm curious if this doctor knows who they are now.
Surely,
because he takes Laurel into the hospital.
She sees him at close range and then shows up 20 minutes later.
Yeah, he shows up 20 minutes later to hang out around Laurel and hey, that big grumpy guy looks a lot like he used to wear a mask.
Right. He's exactly the same build as the guy who brought him in. That's weird.
I hope they do something with that, and I think they did something with that in Smallville, where a certain amount of people, Clark's always just bringing people to the hospital, and it's always the same 7 people. Mm-hmm. So the doctor I'm pretty sure the doctor, if I remember correctly, the doctor was just you're not you're never here. You're never in here to get treated. You're always bringing people in.
Yeah, I do like it when a show has its own Leslie Tompkins, you know?
Yeah. So I would be okay if this doctor kind of came back and was like, "Hey, so I like what you're doing. I agree with you guys. If you need help, like, yeah, can we get a little night nurse over in the DC universe?"
Right. Yeah. That'd work great.
We have a spot open in the team.
Right. There are vacancies. How do you feel about Black?
We just lost about 200 people right now because I laughed at that joke.
This is probably anybody that was still reeling from I don't know, man. I don't even have to watch it again. I can remember their faces, and it quiets me. It just quiets me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's but yeah, I teared up. I choked up when she said this. That being a Black Canary is what makes her feel alive inside.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, oh, Laurel, why weren't you anywhere near this damn interesting while we were watching you?
Yeah,
they did a good job of making me feel for her, though.
She got put on the back burner, unfortunately, by a lot of the other stuff the show had going on, and
she kept the
sure
picture.
as hell that's what it seems like, at least, if that's not what happened. But
well,
yeah.
They were really way more busy than I ever thought they would be, like throwing Malcolm Merlyn around. I guess he became like a fan favorite, but
oh, absolutely. Also,
I mean,
I think
I like that dude, but
like Behrman really liked the role, so I think he's a wonderful lobbyist for himself. He really is.
He should have lobbied a little harder for a little more Torchwood. I could have dealt with that before I could have dealt with some Malcolm Merlyn. I could have. Like, I would rather have seen.
Is. He probably sends at least
is.
one message a day to somebody saying, "So when are we doing Torchwood again? When are we doing Torchwood again? When are we doing Torchwood again?"
Oh yeah, like he's like over here going, like, "I don't want to say anything, but Chris Chibnall wrote some Torchwood." And,
right.
He's taking over. He's taking over Doctor Who, so maybe a little Harkness.
The producers are just writing him back, going, "It's been 10 years. Your character doesn't age. This won't work, John. Sorry."
It could work because spoilers for Doctor Who. He becomes
eventually
the face of Bo.
Right.
So, they could, it's a time travel show. They could catch up with Jack Harkness, 100, 200, 300 years down the road. Maybe he's, aged 10 years in that time.
Absolutely. Oh, speaking of that, of the Who alumni, you think we'll get Kingston back for a funeral? I sure hope so.
Yeah. She was in some of the set pics for the, remember that, all those, funeral set pics we saw? A few weeks ago?
I saw a couple of them. I didn't really look too close, though.
Okay. Well, she was in there.
I did.
So.
I did look. She is in there, though?
Yeah, she's in there.
Good.
Yeah. So she should be around.
I mean, it's her daughter. Surely she'll show up.
Who's still gonna? Who's back though next week?
Echo Kellum.
Well, Laurel.
Well, yeah. Again, I'm not upset about that though. That's fine.
Right.
She's been with us for 4 years. She deserves a remembrance episode. I'd be annoyed if they just moved on.
Well, here's the thing that's kind of worrying me, and hope I don't know, but they're saying, because these producers do like to lie. You've brought this up.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, yes, this is a permanent death. Okay, cool, but that doesn't mean we can't do flashbacks. Okay, fair enough. You can do some flashbacks. Yeah. Okay, we'll give that to you. They're like, oh, and also over here in The Flash, she's been announced as showing up as Black Siren from Earth 2.
Yeah, but I firmly believe, I have just 110% faith that will be a one-off.
Do you think so?
Absolutely. There aren't Earth 2 counterparts in Arrow, really. There really aren't. I mean, they don't have, it's a possibility, but Arrow hasn't really played with it too much. That's not a sandbox they'd visit.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that it'll be on Arrow. Maybe she'll be on The Flash as Black Siren for, and that's what she's going to be for that one episode at least.
Yeah,
but,
that's
maybe
fine.
She'll come back, But she's also going to be in Vixen Season 2, because they've got to explain how the hell Vixen knew her. So
that's fine. I mean, by the time that comes out, it'll be nice to see her again.
I mean, there's a bunch of people on Twitter and Tumblr hashtagging the hell out of the producers and stuff, saying, hashtag no Laurel, no Arrow. I don't think you have to really worry.
No Laurel, no Arrow.
Looks like I think we'll have plenty of Laurel.
These are not people that would make good Walking Dead fans.
Right.
No, man.
There's plenty of people bitched about The Walking Dead. I don't know what happened.
I was only told what happened, and I was annoyed.
Apparently, there was some bullshit that went down. I don't know.
It sounded like some serious bullshit.
I don't know. Everyone's up in arms over it. But yeah, I don't want anybody to think that I'm, like, I don't know. She did a good job.
You don't want it to be cheapened, I feel like.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want Laurel's death to be cheapened. I also don't want, one thing that bothered me is she tells Oliver, and it got me. It did. As soon as I heard it, it seemed undeniably, unassailably true, and I choked up. And then I went, no, that's bullshit. She says, I know I'm not the love of your life, but you will always be the love of mine. She tells Oliver that. And I was like, oh my God, it's so true. Then I went, wait, no, Tommy.
I still bought it.
She started drinking her, half a glass of wine and taking her baby Tylenol.
No, yeah.
Because Tommy
died.
And I'm like, that seems like a pretty, like, you didn't even become an alcoholic drug, pill popping addict when, Oliver, the love of your life, was thought dead and had, took your sister.
Yeah, but it's
along with him.
It's not in a vacuum. It's sequential. I could easily say, like, look, yeah, she could handle it once, but twice, no. She's grabbing some wine.
Right.
I agree, though. Like, as soon as I heard it, I went, oh, that does make all the sense in the world. Yeah.
But the fact that it made all the sense in the world made me feel even worse, because it made me feel like, in all this time, you have not developed Laurel enough that I felt like that line was obvious, because of course she hasn't loved anyone or grown past Oliver.
Right.
At all. I don't know. And maybe that was the truth. Maybe that is the truth. Maybe that's why she's she finds out he's a vigilante. Maybe she has to be a vigilante. I don't know. But it makes for a weak character, and it made me feel a little bad.
They don't give you any backstory about why she's, had these feelings all these years. And he brings it up, like, why are you telling me now? We don't really get into that, unfortunately. But...
Well, I'll tell you what.
But, dude, the look on Amel's face when he sees that picture. Oh,
yeah,
man.
That killed me. That killed me.
Oh, that dude's so good sometimes.
Yeah,
It didn't bother me, though. Like, I understand what you're saying as far as it does kind of absolutely, but it hangs a lantern almost on the fact that she just really didn't change all that much in all these years. In a way, I appreciated him bringing it up, though. I did. I don't know why. It just made sense. It made sense for her to think that way, to feel that way. And you remember, she doesn't know she's dying. No one, people don't.
Right.
That's a TV thing where people know they're about to die. And she's, unless they've got like, I think it was Matthew Ryan Cronin that suggested, like, well, maybe it's a fake death. God, I hope not, though. I mean, it's a cool theory, but I really hope it's not some trickery of any kind. Because it would flatten the scene. It would make everything here absolutely irrelevant. And more importantly, it would kill a perfectly good ending for a good character, or for a character that needed ending, I suppose.
You know what? It might be a fake death. It really might be. Like, she said she had some kind of a secret or something that she wanted to tell Ollie.
She had one favor she wanted to ask, and
yeah,
we don't know what that favor is.
The very next thing, she's coding and she dies.
Right.
So
they'll probably get around to that favor next episode. You think? I think.
Yeah.
Because whatever the way Oliver works, like whatever it is she said, assuming she is really dead. I mean, we're about to go to a funeral, so hopefully, I hope it sticks. Personally.
What if it? Yeah, but what if it's like it could very well could be just a whole like lie. It could wind up being that like Quentin really is the one who goes.
It could. I still really don't want that. And this fits. It fits all the pieces except for the jokes we were making about it couldn't have been Laurel because he would still be sitting there with an empty bottle of whiskey blubbering over the casket. But yeah,
exactly why I don't trust it, because it all fits.
It fits. It makes sense, and I really don't want him to go back on it. I want it to matter. But whatever she said, if it does stick and it's real, whatever she said, Oliver's presumably going to get up to it. Like, whatever that favor was, he'll probably get on it pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll bet it's something like simple, like do me a favor, make sure you get Felicity back or something.
Or like, find your son, be a father.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I doubt it's going to be anything like Dark related, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Do me a favor, tell Ruve I'm not taking the job. I'm hoping it's something simple, like do me a favor. I left half a Snickers in my purse. I'd really love that. I'm hungry.
Right.
Or she has a cat we didn't know about. Do me a favor. My cats haven't eaten in about 18 hours.
Right. Do me a favor. What? Can you move that cord? It's just I'm so uncomfortable.
Really itching the bottom of my arm.
Moves the cord. Beep. No. What happened? I don't know. It just started happening. Right. Oliver lies again.
Right.
I moved a tube.
Arrow season 5. I killed Laurel.
She asked me to.
How the hell did you kill Laurel? I moved a tube.
What do I do? You can't tell Felicity. She'll never forgive you, Oliver.
Right.
She'll never forgive you for moving that tube. All right. I did enjoy this episode. This is a good episode.
Good TV.
I know I gave it a lot of crap, though.
We always do.
I know. I feel bad about it. But I just can't not.
It's, I understand the instinct.
Well, otherwise, I feel like I'm not being honest.
Right.
Like, when something takes me out or something, and I'm like, hey, what the hell is this bullshit? I'm not going to skip over it just because, I want to like the show. I always want to love the show. Anyway.
I feel you.
Yeah, so, I understand, though, TV shows, it's all about, the end product, everyone... there's so many moving parts, man. I couldn't imagine running a show. It's hard enough to run a freaking YouTube video. So, my hat's off to them. Yeah. But anyway, we hope you enjoyed this episode of DC On Screen. You can find every episode at DCOnScreen.com. You can find us also on Twitter, Stitcher, iTunes, Facebook. There's something for you most places. If you're looking for us, anyway. Check out our friends Matt Carroll and Jeff Randall at the Marvel Cinematic Universe Podcast, MCUcast.com. We are a proud member of the Giant Size Team Up Network. Giant Size Team Up. Sorry, what is it? GiantSizeTeamUp.com? Is that right? Yeah. Why am I forgetting that sound suddenly?
I don't know.
I say it like every episode.
This outro has got you flummoxed, man.
I know. Flibbledy jibby. Anyway, we'll be right back with a review of Legends of Tomorrow 110.
As soon as I take Dave to the doctor.
That's what it is, like trying to figure out how to pronounce this kid's name, this kid Hitler from Legends of Tomorrow's name.
Patagonia. Wait, those are jackets.
Until next time, guys, keep some DC on your screen.
We're having genuine trouble, man.
I know.
I don't know what happened there.
What was that kid's name?
No idea. I never even wrote it down. I was just going to call him Hitler Baby the whole episode.
Oh, gosh.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.